Late Monday night, Brussels International Airport underwent a multi-million-dollar heist. According to authorities, 8 armed robbers dressed in police uniforms stole $50 million worth of valuable gems and diamonds. Within minutes, the armed robbers broke through the perimeter fencing, quickly loaded up precious cargo, and sped away without a single shot fired. The men have yet to be found, and authorities continue their search.
And U.S. authorities are still trying to determine who hacked into the computer systems of several American corporations. One hacking company, Mandate, compiled a report based on 7 years of work. The report has the most detailed public account of how the Chinese government has been hacking U.S. companies. The recent occurrence has the Obama administration in developing more aggressive responses to the theft. Within minutes, the armed robbers broke through the perimeter fencing, quickly loaded up the precious cargo, and sped away without a single shot fired. The men had yet been found by the authorities, and the search is continuing.
Millions of federal employees are bracing themselves for the forced budget cuts that could kick in March 1st and nothing gets done by Congress. CBS News is reporting the Defense Department alone could cut more than $46 billion. The FBI says the cuts would require all federal employees to take up to 14 days of leave. Also, thousands of security screeners at our airports would be forced to take time off, which would increase wait time but up to 1 hour. Many more jobs could be accepted and when deadlines come closer. Sequestration begins in 7 days unless a gridlocked U.S. Congress finds a way to avoid the start of the $85 billion in federal budget cuts.
And Jesse Jackson Jr., the former Democratic representative from Illinois, pled guilty on Wednesday to 1 felony count. The account is in connection with the use of $750,000 in campaign money to pay for living expenses. Items include stuffed animals, elk heads, and fur capes. As part of the plea agreement, prosecutors recommend that Mr. Jackson received a sentence of 46 to 57 months in prison.
Those contributors were people of modest means. Senior citizens on fixed income, auto workers, teachers, plumbers. They donated their hard-earned money so that he could, through his political movement, somehow better their lives. He betrayed their trust.
The federal judge overseeing the case is scheduled to sentence Mr. Jackson on June 28th.
An Idaho man accused of uttering a racial slur and slapping a baby on a Delta Airlines flight turned himself in to authorities this week. On February 8th, Jessica Bennett and her 19-month-old son, Jonah, sat next to a 60-year-old man who reeked of alcohol. Hunley then became annoyed with the toddler after the flight took off. Jonah's mother recalled the dramatic incident on CNN's Anderson Cooper.
He fell onto my face and then pushed his mouth into my ear and said those words to me again, but even louder and more hateful. And so I immediately pushed him off of me, and I must have screamed because the passengers had reacted right away, and a few of them stood up, and at that point is when he hit Jonah.
Hunley has been fired from his job at an aerospace and defense company. He is now charged with assaulting a minor.
And Encinitas, the Union School District is being sued over claims of violating religious freedom. Parents and the National Center for Law and Policy have filed a lawsuit alleging that school's twice-a-week yoga programs encourages Hinduism and religious indoctrination. Some parents have asked that their children be removed from the PE class, but the district says the program is only used for physical education and the religion is not being imposed on it to any of its students. And what do 7, 11, and 3 all have in common? The answer is Julian Newman of Orlando, Florida. This 70-pound, 11-year-old basketball protege makes sinking three-pointers look easier than tying shoes. At only 4 feet 5 inches, he barely reaches the chest height of his teammates and opponents. That's because this 5th grader is playing on a high school varsity basketball team, and the obvious height discrepancy might not be something Julian outgrows. Neither of his parents is particularly tall. They are just hoping that their son reaches at least 5 feet 5'10". But with his skills, it may not matter, no matter or what or the other.
The U.S. Committee is interested in San Diego as a possible site for the 2024 Games. but the competition is high. San Diego, along with 34 other U.S. cities, were mailed letters to host the international athletic competition. There is a long list of requirements. The city must provide an adequate public transportation system along with enough hotels for visitors. A decision for the host city will be made in 2017. So tonight is the last Lady Knights basketball game. Here is Isidro Morales with the latest in the sports world.
Oh, thank you, Bradley. Well, that is true. The Lady Knights basketball team will be closing out their season tonight, later on against crosstown rivals Grossmont. The Lady Knights have had a disappointing season with an overall record of 10-15. However, they are 5-5 in Pacific Coast Conference play, and they try to end the season on a high note. And the game time is set for 7 p.m. at the Harry West Gymnasium. Switching to other news, the International Olympic Committee has decided to drop wrestling from the 2020 Games. Wrestling has been a part of the Olympics ever since 1896. News of the IOC's decision has sent shockwaves around the world. Here local wrestlers react to the latest IOC's decision.
As a college wrestler, I mean, there's not a lot you could go for now once the Olympics are gone. I mean, now the door to MMA has opened, but not every wrestler wants to go in, start learning Muay Thai and boxing. So when that comes along, it's definitely closing a lot of doors for not only wrestlers that want to go on past college wrestling into the Olympics, but wrestlers from high school that want to go on.
In protest of the sport being dropped from former Olympic gold medalists like Bulgaria's Valentin Yardanov have sent back their gold medals. And switching to the hardwood, the NBA trade deadline has come and gone, and it turned out to be a quiet one. While many hoped that the Lakers would make a move, they stayed quiet along with the rest of the association. However, one of the big moves was made between the Milwaukee Bucks and Orlando Magic. The Magic sent fan favorite J.J. Redick and Gustavo Ayllón to the Bucks in exchange for Daron Lamb and Bino Udrih. And yesterday, a memorial service was held at the Nokia Theater for beloved Lakers owners Jerry Buss. Under Buss's leadership, the Lakers became Southern California's most beloved sports franchise and won 10 titles between 1980 and 2010. Many former players and Hall of Famers attended the memorial service, including Commissioner David Stern. Buss had been hospitalized for the past 18 months battling cancer before he died on Monday due to kidney failure. And the most prolific backup quarterback in NFL history finds himself back in the spotlight. New York Jets backup quarterback Tim Tebow was scheduled to speak at a controversial Dallas church in April before tweeting on Thursday that new information led to his decision. The outspoken Christian quarterback was criticized because of the controversial views of the church's leader, Dr. Robert Jeffress, on homosexuals and Mormonism. So Riley and Dave, that's pretty much it for this edition of sports.
All right, thank you, Isidro.
I heard you feel something about the rest.
We'll be right back.
Oh.